So far, all of the analysis that we've done has focused on competitive markets. So markets where there's many buyers and sellers, there's identical products and no barriers to entry. What we're going to do now is look at the other end of the extreme, or an opposite situation, and that's monopoly. And in sticking with the model we chose with PC, we're going to go through and talk about characteristics and outcomes and how different characteristics that exist in a monopoly market lead to certain outcomes. I should say at the start then, too, that the costs for monopoly stay the same. There aren't any real changes there. Primarily, we're looking at the market that the firm is operating in, not the costs that the firm incurs. So first and foremost, when we look at the characteristics of monopoly, we have only one seller, and there are no substitutes for the product. And then also there are barriers to entry. So something stops other firms from getting into this market. So these conditions are essentially what has to be met in order for a market to be considered a monopoly. The outcomes that they lead to are that the firm is a price maker. In other words, they get some power in setting the price. Now, they don't have total price control, or I should say that while they can set the price of the good, they can't choose how much people are going to buy. But they do have the ability to set the price just knowing that they'll sell more or less. And that's because they see the entire demand curve. So whereas the PC firm saw a perfectly elastic demand curve that was just part of the market demand, the monopoly is the market, so it sees all of the customers in the market as its demand. And then lastly, because there are barriers to entry, as mentioned before, firms earn profits in the long run. In a competitive market, the lack of barriers to entry eliminate profits, because when firms earn profits, new firms enter. That's not the case with a monopoly. Because there are barriers to entry, when the monopoly earns a profit, even though other firms might like to get in, they're unable to. So these are the basic characteristics of a monopoly and then the outcomes that they lead to for those firms.